So my name's Christian Shepherd. I am the co-founder of Big Voice Media Group, and we're here at the Australian Swimming Championships on the Gold Coast. So this is our first interaction with Amazon Prime as a production company, so there's quite an expectation of the product that we deliver, the image quality, the graphics, the production level in essence. So to meet that standard, we scaled up quite a bit from our standard swimming setups that we normally do with Swimming Australia. So for this production, total we're running 12 cameras. 6 of those 12 are BirdDog PTZ cameras, 3 P200s and 3 A200s. The A200s were probably the essential part we wanted for this event because it was an outdoor event. When you plan these events out, you have to plan for all weather types, and it's the Gold Coast, we're expecting sunshine, and as per normal, we were delivered 3 straight days of solid rain when we first started the event. So the A200s really earned their spot at the start of the event. Being able to operate as the rain was pouring, because the competition doesn't stop when it's raining. They still swim in the rain, everything still runs, so the cameras still have to run in that whole setup. So having the A200s, being able to clean the lenses mid-show without having to send someone around to go and do that, having anti-fog to be able to stop the lenses from fogging up, and the fact that they're just waterproof is just great. So for this event, we are a 60-40 production of 60% baseband SDI and 40% NDI. The NDI is being converted back to SDI for our switcher end, but the beauty about NDI is once it's in the network, we can route it to as many different destinations as we want. So when we've got TOs that require another feed, or they need help with judicial review or anything, we can route them a feed. Big screen is running off an NDI source that we can route whatever we want to the big screen without having to take up sources off our SDI desk. So the other setup here is we're set up ops on the western grandstand, but because we're facing east, we don't want any of the cameras facing into the sun, so all of our camera setup is actually on the eastern grandstand looking west. Now that threw in a bit of a distance equation with how we had to get all the camera feeds back and actually power everything that's sitting over on the eastern grandstand. So all the PTZs are power over Ethernet on the other side, and we're just bringing the signals back. So the NDI is really helping in actually transmitting that signal back there.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. My name is BirdDog John. At least that's what they call me. And by that, I mean, that's what I call myself. Hopefully you're doing well. And we're ready to go again. Now, right out of the gates, without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Robbie to the show. What's going on, man? Can you hear me? I haven't even tested this with you yet. Hey, Robbie, can you hear me at all? Maybe not. All right. Well, I'll check in with Robbie in a bit. We'll see if he can. We'll get a hand signal from him. See if he's around. All right. So today, I don't know if you saw the title of my show, but evidently it is turning into a bit of a BirdDog cooking channel for some reason. But the exciting thing is that I actually ordered the coffee thing that Jeremy told me to order. And so here it is. It is hanging around. And today, the actual NDI thing that we're going to do is talk about NDI router and the new NDI tool. So there is the new coffee item. I've got my standard ramen fare, and I've got a jalapeno. We're gonna spice up our meal a little bit here with some additional power. So we'll see. I grew this one. This is my own. This is my pocket knife I'm going to use to cut it up. But anyways, there it is. That's the whole fleet. We're going to get into that a little bit later. So pretty excited about that. But the thing that we really want to talk about today is the release of NDI 5.5. And so that's the exciting news in the NDI realm. BirdDog Brayton and Christian 2.0 are also in the office today. And so they're going to check in at some point. I've heard rumors that Brayton is also making some ramen on his side. So yeah, he's got a pack of the same flavor as I do. I think we're going with the cheese today. So here is a live shot from his office, and that's the pack that he's working on today. So it's exciting. Now, NDI 5.5. Let's go right into it because it's super important. And there's lots that we really need to talk about. So back in the day, long ago, there's a product that was made by a guy named Martin who, created a routing service that I've been using. It's an NDI routing service where you can bring in a bunch of sources into like a switchboard and then select the ones that you want and actually do like live switching between sources. It worked great and it was free, and there's no complaining about that. The only thing that was troublesome about it that I found was it would randomly crash, and it would, which, all software crashes, so whatever. But it would also, when you go to switch a source, it would freeze. And that's not good because you want your sources when you jump between sources to be instantaneous, kind of like this. And so when we click on the button to change the source, we want it to go right away. Well, NDI.TV or NewTek or somebody came up with these new tools that include now a router. And it's basically what Martin offered. Looks a little bit differently, which we'll go through in a second, but it's what Martin offers. And it allows you to configure each source as is. It allows you to label all those sources, and it allows you to assign them to 4 different destinations. And so that's huge because Martin's would just output to A or B, whereas this one can output to out of the box. On install, it will allow you to output to 4 different sources, but also there's some additional options there where that isn't the be all and end all. And so we'll get into that a little bit later as we get going. What's going on, Kevin? Thanks for jumping in with us this morning. What's going on, Brayton? Good morning. Hopefully you're doing well over there, and hopefully you haven't started down this lunch path yet. But hey, you and I have the same pocket knife. The Kershaw Leak, is that what yours is? I believe that's what this one is. Yeah, the 3655. I believe it's the Leak, if I'm correct. Man, I've owned multiple versions of this pocket knife, mostly because I lose them. But what a great pocket knife, and we can discuss that at a later day. It looked like my Gerber. It is a Kershaw pocket knife. This one. What I really like about it, maybe I'll switch to the overhead view real quick here. What I really like is how thin it is. Check that out, man. It's super thin, and it has the open assist. So you just swipe down and it's kind of pops open. So if I were to take it apart and clean it, it would be a lot faster. It's kind of sticky right now, but it's because I use it for everything. So let me get that in the shot here. But yeah, it's because I use it for everything, and so it definitely is due for a good cleaning. Let me check here. Hey, Robbie, can you hear me? Can you give me like a thumbs up if you can hear me talking? Okay, cool. So welcome, Mr. Robbie. I'm going to can you unmute your microphone? I think.
Yeah, I can do that.
Hey, what's going on?
All right.
So we have never met. This is the first time I've ever talked to Robbie. Robbie is a new employee with BirdDog. He just started like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something like that?
Yeah, August 1st. So yeah.
Oh man, August 1st. So I literally was so that's 9 days ago, literally in the woods camping when Robbie came on board. Let everybody know what it is that you're up to for BirdDog. I love this. Thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate that.
Sorry, no worries. I'm going to be the sales engineer for UK and Nordics. So
awesome. So that's really exciting. So we've got we had one guy over in Europe who is named Phil, who's regularly on this show. And he was doing pretty much everything. And then we hired Sebastian, who handles things up in like France. And so Robbie came handpicked, as I heard, from Phil, and he's super super excited that Robbie was able to accept a job offer with us. And yeah, now he's going to handle UK and Nordics, which so my last name is Knutson, so it's a little close to my heart. I originally, my family hails from Norway, not me, but anyways, And we got another guy up in Oslo named Jan. So he's one of our developers. But anyways, so welcome to the team, man. We're excited to have you on board.
No worries. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to coming over to the US as well. So
yeah, so that's going to happen next week, right? You'll be here with us.
Over, so.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll get some FaceTime with you and cover whatever it is that you want to learn or haven't learned yet. Now, what's your background? What have you been doing up until now?
So there's a question. So I used to work for. I started in the digital. Let's start. I started in television by selling Maxell tape years ago.
Yeah,
years tape. You might probably remember that.
Yep.
And then I went on to nonlinear. So I was with a company called Fast Electronics. Then I went to Pinnacle. So I've done sort of nonlinear and sort of editing. So very good with codecs. Dropped into a little bit of digital signage as well. So I've done some digital signage with Sony. I've then done a lot of work with Sony, about 20 years as a freelance, as a demoer, sort of explaining technology, XDCAM, codecs, and stuff like that.
Excellent. Good. I like this so far.
So I'm quite good with codecs, and I understand transport streams and moving stuff around. So that's really good. Cool. I was a product manager for the FS7 and the FS5 for Sony as well. But I also looked after their archive as well. So we did the archiving as well. So did quite a lot with Sony. And I also was one of their product specialists for cameras as well. So
wow. Yeah. So that's quite the stacked resume you have.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the team. Now you can add a BirdDog sales engineer to that list. Awesome. For those of you who are keeping score, sales engineers in the US are like CJ and Jake and Ian, who we've had on this show multiple times. But basically it's sales, but it's also with a fairly solid support background so that customers know what they're buying and how to use it when they purchase it. And I'm very excited that we're hiring sales engineers because it usually means there's a whole lot less questions after the sale goes down, and they'll be able to integrate and know what they're buying and get into. So that's great. I'm really thrilled that we're filling out the Europe team because it's long overdue, and it's one of our biggest markets. So there's lots of potential over there as well. Awesome. So have we gotten you any test gear or anything like that, or have you just been working with Phil, or what's been on this?
No, so Phil had to go to have his fun, take his kids to Florida. So he's actually having fun in Disney presently.
Oh, nice.
So he's dropped me just before I started a load of dem kit. So I've been piecing it all together, making it work. So I've got most things to work. A couple of things I'm still thinking, why the hell doesn't that work? But I get there. So my biggest one is I cannot get it to. I cannot see any streams in vMix. Don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, we can walk you through that. That's good stuff for you to experience because a lot of our customers feel that way too.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I cut is frustrating at the moment, and no matter apart from reinstalling vMix, which I haven't done yet. So
awesome. Yeah, that is usually one of the solutions that vMix gives, which I'm not a fan of, is reinstall the program or reinstall the OS. That's always a strange thing to see.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, please don't do that.
No, I don't.
And no, Kevin, I didn't offer to provide support for vMix. I offered to provide support to Robbie, who is a fellow employee of mine. So there's this love-hate relationship between vMix and me, but it's not about the program at all. The program is fine. There are other issues. So, vMix issues. Senseless. This is a BirdDog employee. His name's Clayton, who you will meet when you're here in next week.
Cool.
But yeah, vMix issues. You don't say. So Senseless is the guy who handles pretty much all of the global tickets right now because we don't have a ticketing agent in Europe or in Australia. We're in the process of rehiring those positions, and so Senseless is the guy that handles all of those tickets. But anyways, he's yes, he will have some insight. And Kevin says, I've literally never had an issue with vMix that wasn't the fault of an external piece of the system. So vMix was never the problem, which may be why they don't really have support agents. They have, a couple of guys that are engineers that answer tickets that come in. But as I understand it, there isn't much of a support department for vMix. Maybe it's because it just always works. And like I said, as a product, it's fine, and it serves a market that, it has kind of a wide berth and a purpose for
Yeah,
it
I
being
understand that.
used. I used Wirecast for a time, and that was okay, but it's kind of a smaller section of the market. And I used OBS, which is the free section of the market. And then I have a TriCaster here, which is the opposite end of. So
Yeah.
it's in my mind, from free to paid, it's kind of like OBS, and then it's Wirecast, and then it's vMix, and then it's TriCaster, and it kind of
Right.
moves along the scale of, people who are used to using it. So depending on what their demands are and what their projects are, and what they're trying to produce. But anyways, vMix is like this big meaty section between like the professionals and the guys that don't want the free option or don't want Wirecast.
Yeah.
So
That makes
that's
sense.
where that hangs out. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. And this is like, this is literally, guys, this is the first encounter that I've ever had with Robbie, just other than sending him a welcome on board email. I think that's about as far as that goes. But yeah, we can definitely sort out that vMix stuff. Let's do that if you want. We can do that after the show, but I know you're coming up on 5 o'clock.
I'll do it next week. I'm still looking at other stuff, so I'm
okay,
good.
cool.
So,
do you have, is that on a mobile machine that you're bringing with you, or is that a
it's on this machine?
Oh, it's on that laptop. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll bring it along and we'll troubleshoot that. That'd be great. Brayton, so Robbie, I don't know how many of these shows, maybe this is the first one you've seen, but so I do this like, it wasn't supposed to be this way, but I try foods on the stream, and it because what would happen is we would talk about NDI stuff, but some days like nobody had anything to talk about, and so somebody, one of our guys that follows the channel, he shipped us a bunch of like spicy food, and then he shipped us a bunch of like, I don't know, like candies from Mexico, and it was really weird. He spent a lot of money doing it too. Well, anyways, he sent us so much spicy Korean ramen that it took us, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months to get through it all. And today is the final day where we are finally officially out of ramen. So it has been it's been a long time coming, and I have been stupid enough to eat the spiciest ones first and then eat the rest of them later. And so here is a view of the final. This is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing on the stream, but then I grow my own jalapeno peppers, and I thought, you know what, why not just kill myself on the last ramen pack? And it's not that we won't ever have them again, but it is kind of a final day. So we're going to add that to the mix, and then I'm going to try and answer. Let's say we don't have a ton of people here, so I'm going to try and answer whatever NDI questions we have while eating spicy food, which is kind of the shtick that we do. But also, I want to talk about NDI 5.5, which is a tool set that just came out, but also it is the latest version of NDI that's out in the market. So a year ago, they launched NDI 5. So we went from 4.5 to 5, and that brought some bells and whistles and whatever. Well, now they've come out with kind of the redefined, and they've tidied up some loose ends and whatever with 5.5. So the tool set that's available right now, we want to go over. And so I'm also going to try to attempt to do that, explain that tool set while eating spicy food. So that's kind of anyways, that's the game that I play. And Brayton has said that his experiment is ready, which means that hopefully it's on camera. So if we switch over to his, oh, there it is. So his experiment today is the same. This is the cheesy one, but he's added Cheez-Its to his. And so we're going to see whether or not that's a good idea or not. And I don't think anyone else is participating with him today. I could be wrong, but he'll fill us in a minute. Anyways, Brayton, or Bray 2K95, is also an employee. He's my repair technician. So if you have any questions about products that break down or need physical repairs, and you're interfacing with customers, he is a great resource to help you with that, or baseboard updates or firmware updates or anything like that. So we've got good resources that actually overlap with Europe, which is nice. Where are you specifically located in? Are you in the UK? Are you?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. So if you go right to the UK and then you come to the sea, that's where I am. So I'm right down in a place called Bournemouth.
Okay.
right by the sea. And today is a gorgeous day. We have a heat wave over here at the moment, which is really unusual definitely for when the kids are on holiday. So therefore, everybody is out, and it's about. I think it's going to be about 30 degrees today. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that is warm. Yeah, because isn't it normally like pretty gray and overcast in London?
Normally, July is a brilliant month, and it's really sunny and lovely. And then kids get off of school, and then it rains. So,
perfect timing.
It's different. So yeah,
no
good.
Kidding. Well, that's cool. Well, hopefully you get a chance to enjoy that sunshine after. Again, you're coming up on the end of the workday over there, right? So let's see, Melbourne, London is it's 4:16 over there. So
yeah,
I'm assuming you're in that same time zone. What's going on, Bugsy? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Well, that's great. Well, you're welcome to stick around as long as you like, or if you've got things to do.
I'm going to see what's happening. I can stick me back in the background, and I'll listen. I'm still playing with some stuff. I'll go back to
cool. Yeah. Well, we'll check in with you soon, and I will. I'm going to go over this NDI routing stuff, and I want to talk about the differences between the two, so that it might be helpful to.
It would be really helpful. I've been playing with NDI tools 5.5, so
awesome.
That'll be really useful, to be frank. So
okay,
so
yeah.
Happy to sit in the background listen.
All right, I will. I'll go over that, and we'll get on there. So, here we go. Okay, so let's jump over to my desktop real quick, and I'm going to share this on the stream now. One of the great features that I have that I want to really tout. This is something that I'm really excited that NDI did. Is they have now redone Martin's Zen router and called it NDI router, which is basically the same tool. But what it is you can assign sources. So in the configuration tab, you can assign an NDI source to a button. That's what that is. We can relabel this, by the way, so I can say like P200, right? Boom. We can change the color of the text. We can change the background. So in case maybe I want, no. Let's go to maybe like a BirdDog green with a black text. Okay, cool. That's not BirdDog green. That's like neon green. Anyways, I know what's going to happen is customers are going to request that they allow custom colors. But hey, let's just be happy that this is a thing right now. So let's just say black background and maybe the letters can be green. Okay, that's way less painful. You can change the font. You want it bigger, you want it smaller, whatever. Bold, italics. That's nice that they included this. They're just little things. Anyways, we can set it up so that we can have our sources. So this is my overhead, my P100 overhead, and let's just say close to that. This one is Auburn Road, and so this is like outside shot. And then this is Brayton's camera for his ramen shot. So I got my P200, my P100 overhead, which is the one up top, my outside shot for Auburn Hills, and then Brayton's camera. And you can literally just set them up that fast. Like just pull up your sources, and if they show up in Studio Monitor, they're going to show up here on this list. And you can pick whatever you want. I have a PF120 that's in my office. This is Brayton's camera, P100, P200, all that sort of good stuff. Okay. And then you can configure your destinations. Now, when you fire up router inside Studio Monitor, you're going to have these sources then show up as your desktop. So check this out, router destination 1. So that's this one. But if we want to change, if we want to have a second destination, we click on the destination and then we select the source that we want for that destination. And it even has a little preview window. So there's outside right now. And if we go to desktop destination 2, that's this one. Now, think of it this way. We have multiple outputs of TriCaster or vMix or whatever, but we want certain things to show on certain destinations. Think flex outs or think, NEC TVs with SDM. Think about signage. Think about, announcements, all that sort of thing. We want a certain output to go to a certain group of sources. Well, we can point all of the destinations at the router destination, and then it's just a simple, vMix output 1. We want that all to show up on destination 1, so then we can change it to boom, whatever it is. So now everything that's looking at router destination 2 is looking at the camera that I'm using. And then if I want to set this up and I can change it to the overhead, well, that's the one that this, my camera. So if we kill this, so my camera is looking at router destination 1. And so when I change things, I click on destination 1 and then I change the source, it changes it to those items nice and fast. Now there's something else going on here, which I'll explain in a second, but in general, it's really quick. Now what I love about it is with Zen Router, okay, it was developed like 2 or 3 years ago, mind you, and I don't think it's been updated since then. But with Zen Router, you would click on a source to switch to the output, and it would take like a second and a half to do. And for a free resource, amazing. That's great because it's free, and free is always a great price for everybody. However, NDI router, this one that shows on my desktop, this NDI router is also free. It's included with the toolset 5.5, which you can download at ndi.tv/tools. And now we can switch between sources and it's instantaneous. See how fast that is? It's like takes no time at all. And it uses the same concept, I'm assuming, that the TriCaster uses. So the TriCaster brings in all of those sources and has them basically waiting to go. And when you click them, it just switches over to them live. Now, the output is a full NDI output as well. So we can send these to flex outs. We can send these to BirdDog decoders, and it'll work just as expected. Now, I'm using StreamYard to do this interview style thing that you just saw me use, Robbie. I brought him in. That's StreamYard. Well, StreamYard uses webcam inputs, right? USB inputs or pseudo webcam inputs to do that. And so that adds an extra level of complexity. Well, now the webcam input in NDI Tools 5.5 has also been updated. It also gives you 4 destinations, so we can use 4 NDI sources as 4 webcam sources, and they all appear in StreamYard, in Zoom, in Skype, if that's still your thing, as valid webcam sources. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to have to change what screen I'm sharing, and I'm actually going to have to switch this over. So let me put StreamYard up here. Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing. Now I'm going to share my main screen, which is dangerous because it's a mess. Okay, here we go. So now let's show this is the primary screen on my computer. You can see my desktop items and what have you, and here we are. Well, down here on the toolbar, I've opened webcam. So there it is right there. Okay, NDI Tools webcam. I've opened that and it's currently running here. And if you click on it, check this out. It gives you, if you click on it, it gives you a little window that shows you what your webcam inputs are. And the one that I've used for my webcam is router destination 1 on the new NDI router. So the way that the sequence goes is I put my sources in, P200, P100, outside shot. Okay, I set all that up. And then on this destination, all I do is I make sure that this is what I want it to be called. That's really all that is. And I could label it or change it or whatever, but I don't necessarily need to do that. Okay, so I go P200 to destination 1. And now this router is outputting 4 NDI streams. Okay. And then I open webcam and I say my video 1 webcam, I want that to be, I go here to my desktop, router destination 1. And then when I open StreamYard, okay, the program I use to produce this show, it's looking for a valid webcam on my network. Well, now NDI webcam is emulating a webcam, and I can say, pick, that webcam as my source. And so now I can take all of my NDI sources that I have, pass them through NDI router, and then I can change that source as I want. So if I remove this again, and I now want to change whatever my source is, this is all pretending to be a USB webcam, which now works with all of my software. So if you're using Zoom, Now, Zoom, you can use every NDI source that you have on the network as a webcam input. And if you add router, you can switch between NDI inputs as well really fast. So that's super cool because it basically allows you to use every source that you have, any video source that's being generated on your network in NDI as a webcam input. Now, Bugsy makes a good point here. I wish that they had this for Mac. They have some new tools for Mac, but they do not have router for Mac yet. I hope it's coming. ndi.tv/tools. Let's pull that up. I'm also going to throw, let's stop screen, add screen, new screen, and this one again. So this is the NDI Tools website, nditools.tv or ndi.tv/tools. And they do have a comparison chart of the products that are being offered right here. So video monitor, there is a webcam module now for Mac, which I haven't tested, but I will likely do that because that would be great for Zoom and for a bunch of things. But if you see, they do not have a router option. So there's that. Now, they did also they have test patterns for the Windows version, which is super useful. So if you don't have very many NDI sources on your network, but you want to generate a whole bunch, you can fire up NDI. Let's go up here to Yoink. We just type in test patterns. This is another program that runs mostly in your toolbar, but it looks like this. And now we're generating an NDI signal at 1080p 60. You can change that if you need to, but the maximum is 1080p 60. And now let's just look inside Studio Monitor. And now under desktop, we should have a test pattern. Boom. There's the test pattern that I selected. And if I want to change it, it's also quite quick and instantaneous. You can also add an audio tone to it. So if you need to make sure that you can decode audio as well, you can do that. Or if it's changing the audio some way, this is the classic NDI screen. And I uploaded our BirdDog splash page to this so that we can run a test pattern. This was the computer I was using at NAB. So this is how I was generating that behind the booth. But anyways, just using test patterns. Really simple tool if you want to have a valid 1080p 60 or 5994 or whatever. You want to have a valid NDI signal, full NDI signal on your network. You want to test your decoders against that. You want to test your screens, make sure they're showing color correctly. You want to test audio, make sure it's playing audio correctly. Test patterns can do that. And that's also a free tool inside that NDI toolkit. So definitely worth it, worth checking that out. And when you turn it off, it turns off. So boom, there is the router output for destination 1. I could also change this directly to the P200 camera output, which is the one that I'm using here. But I like doing this because then it's all integrated and connected together. So, okay, so that is test patterns. That's router, and that's the webcam module. Those have all been updated and new and improved, and I approve those changes because they're super duper helpful. Of course, NDI Bridge is there. Remote has been updated, which I won't get into right now. The other one that I will get into, though, is screen capture. So I don't need screen capture for what it is that I'm doing because StreamYard actually allows me to do a full screen capture like what you're looking at right here. But we could, if we wanted to, fire up screen capture. And so we can go here. Now, there's 2 versions of screen capture. There is this version, screen capture, which is the full NDI version. So what it does is it generates an actual captured, whatever it is that's on your screen, it generates that as an NDI source. So you want to share what it is that you're showing on your computer screen. You want to generate that as an NDI source and bring that into TriCaster or vMix. You can do that now for free with screen capture. And it does open up a little thing in the menu bar, which I can't show you because it's on my it's on my other screen. However, you do get you get the ability to change the frame rate as you always have. The frame rate, you can do 60, 5994, or 50, or 30, 2997, and 25. Those are all progressive, by the way, not interlaced. So sorry for you guys over in Europe. You can do region of interest, which has always been a bit of a hit or miss thing with screen capture. And then you can pick your audio source. So if you want your audio source to be one that's on your computer that you're capturing, so say I want to do a mic over, like I want to have a voiceover with the screen capture that I'm using, I can add my mic input that I'm using and send that out NDI with the screen capture. So that's helpful. You can also change the webcam video and audio sources in there as well. So that is just the standard screen capture. However, they have also included, you probably saw, an HX version of this program. So you can fire that up, and it is literally the same thing, but it's using NDI HX instead. And so HX, as many of you know, is a lower resolution, or it's a lower bandwidth version of NDI, but it has higher levels of latency. Now, I haven't tested whether or not that's true for this because it's being generated by an NDI toolset, and so there may be very minimal differences in terms of the actual bandwidth that's being used, but it is very possible that they're very close. The only other difference that I see is it does allow you to pick the monitor resolution, or you can pick 1440, 1080p, 720p, or 480p as an option for compressing your video. And then the frame rates are still the same, the ones that I just said before. And then you can select, now get this, you can select ultra high bandwidth usage, high bandwidth, medium, or low. And then you can use H.264 or HEVC, which is the Intel, so HEVC, which is I believe it's it's a different encode basically, but you can pick between the two standards. So depending on what your situation is, there's a fair bit of flexibility there when it comes to using the HX version, because it's doing things a wee bit slower. There's more time to do some stuff. The final thing I will bring up is it does allow, both of them does allow you to do KVM control. And this is pretty big, because if you enable KVM control, then you can pull it up on Studio Monitor in another place in the office, or if you're using BirdDog Cloud or Bridge or whatever, you can pull it up in those locations. And if KVM is enabled, you can open it in Studio Monitor and control the computer from there, which is like, yeah, it's NDI remote desktop. Oh, I'm supposed to be eating this spicy ramen while I'm doing this. So it's like NDI remote desktop service, which is pretty handy, because if you're doing screen capture on your machines across your fleet and you enable KVM, then you can remote control the computer that you're screen capturing, which is pretty slick. Okay. This is okay. So, for those of you who are new to the show, this is Korean spicy ramen. It's the cheese flavor. It's not as hot as the one time, as I recall. However, because of that, I added fresh jalapenos from my garden. So anyway, so it's at least 3,600 Scoville. And now this is going to punch me in the face. Oh gosh. All right. So I don't think KVM works over Bridge, right? See, I haven't tested it, but with the updated stuff, and it says that, Bridge is improved. I don't know. I don't know if it allows for that or not. NDI Bridge is in client server mode, hasn't been working well for me. What's the matter? Hey, supposedly NewTek's version is faster to switch between. They use the paid SDK, which allows for immediate switching, while ZenRouter uses the free SDK, which doesn't support that feature. Yeah, I mean, that's likely what it is, because these are the inventors of the protocol. So obviously they're going to use the SDK that is the quickest and the best. Oh my goodness. And that is, that would make sense why that router program is working as quick as it does. Really sorry for those of you who are now enduring. Wow, that hit hard. I mean, it's good, but yikes. Yeah, but yikes. So let's see how let's keep going here, though. We got to get through this before the end of the show, and we're already 38 minutes into it. Oh boy. Whew. All right. Hey, does it use HXH 2 or 3? That is a very interesting question. Let's see. Cool. Let's see if we can find out while we do this. So let's open this up. Let's look at screen capture. There it is. And not that one, because that's confusing. Okay, so this NDI Tools doesn't actually tell us what it is. So let's see what else we can find out. Okay, so if it's not going to tell us what it is, so check this out. All right, so we're going to add this to the stream. This is screen capture, capturing and capturing and capturing and capturing. So that's fun. But then do I have analysis on here? Of course I do, because I'm a good support agent. And, you know, that's how that works. So NDI analysis.exe/find. Whoops. Oh, that worked. Okay. 20 sources found on my network. So here at the BirdDog office, we have a fair bit underway. So screen capture, yada, yada, yada. It just says NDI. It doesn't actually say HX, doesn't it? That's strange. Should it not specify? Maybe this is an old version and it doesn't do it. Well, let's see it. Certainly, maybe there's a help section that will tell us what type of NDI we're dealing with here. If anybody knows, feel free to dump that in the chat. I really appreciate it. Hey, welcome to NDI Screen Capture HX, your GPU hardware acceleration. Using your GPU hardware acceleration to your presets, computer's display, yada, yada, yada. To use the non version, please do this. Screen capture, here's a little video. Okay, a whole lot of nothing there. Next, run it. Yada, yada, yada. Screen capture is now active. Bob's your uncle. Capturing options. So choose from ultra to low and choose your codecs. Choose your sources and your frame rate. Really? That's all you're going to tell me? Okay, so the help section did not help us answer that question. So let's try something else. Maybe it depends on the type of, like if we're using low bandwidth, right? Let's see if that makes a difference. So I click low and then I hit search. So you saw the sources change. Still nothing in regards to that. You would think that it would tell you. Fascinating. Yeah, it doesn't actually specify. Okay, how else can we find out? Oh golly, yikes. All right, if we change this, the encode, whoops, change the encode. All right, I gotta get more spicy jalapeno. I'm a little sad that this is the last ramen pack we have, but it won't be the last ramen pack we have because now I've been converted. Nothing. Interesting. Hey, would Dino show it? That's a great question. Why not? Why not see? So, whoa. Okay, here's Dino. And, oh, yikes. This is painful. Oh, geez. Come on, Dino. This is an older version of Dino, I think. So, it may not be super stable. It may be a beta. Whoa. Man, this is hard to eat. Not because it's spicy. I mean, it's spicy, but what's going on here? Whew, man, that's yeah, something's up here. It's like struggling with the full screen thing. All right, so search, search, search. Here we go. Graphics. This is mine. Boy, that's weird. Let's standardize this. So resolution, I want it to be 1080. Frame rate, I want it to be 60. All right, so let's try this again. Yoink. Oh, that's not right. Weird. So maybe because it's HX, it's having problems identifying it. Oh, my goodness. Yikes. Yeah, that's good and spicy, man. Really good, though. Emphasis on the good. So, no. Dino will not tell us. Yeah, we need mountains of ramen sitting around. It's true. There are some flavors we haven't tried, you know? I'm thinking about getting those ones at least. Got to try them all. At this point. Oh, no. Man down. All right, let's put this over here. Anyway, let me have one more bite. And then Jeremy, who we haven't seen yet. Oh my goodness. I think it might be HX3. I mean, that would make sense because it gives you the option to throttle it up or down. I mean, it might be a combination of them, right? Because you can change it. But yes, we do need mountains sitting around. I would agree. I kind of want to get this done before I drink the coffee. Man. I can't really think right now, which is a problem. Because you didn't come here to watch me just eat spicy food. Or maybe you did. And that's also fine. That's also fine. Hey, so today, La Colombe. That's, yeah, La Colombe coffee, mocha flavored, draft latte. My favorite part is it says, do not shake. Do not shake. 15 minutes to go. Yeah, so we better get this coffee started. So I haven't shaken this. This is the coffee that Mr. Kloosterman from Resi recommends and says it's the best in the biz, and is it local to Michigan? I think it's local to Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Norton Shores, Michigan. La Colombe Coffee Roasters. So cheers. It's nitro coffee, evidently. Oh. Foamy nitrous, infused milk, plus cold brew. Those are quite the items to add to that list. Oh, it's good, though. It is good. This is going to be gone in like 2 seconds, but it's delicious. It's also helping with the spice because it's milk. So milk hides the spiciness of oils that are killing your taste buds. If you really want to kill the spice, use citrus, lemons or limes. Good golly. So I ate the whole jalapeno that I chopped up from my garden. Oh, there's one more piece. Hang on. Oh, man down again. Okay, there's the last one. on my spoon. Really don't want to roll over these and like rub them into the carpet. That wouldn't be good. Man, that spicy ramen though has really grown on me. And now I look forward to this segment of the show, which is really weird. I didn't think it was going to go this way. It's the initial... Yikes. It's the initial spice that gets you. But once it starts burning, it just keeps burning. It doesn't get spicier, which is why you bring the jalapenos. Oh. Okay. I actually don't feel like I'm going to die, which is great, as evidence that I have indeed partaken in a whole jalapeno and a whole bowl of ramen. Whew, good golly. That's the deal. It is slow burning, but it is gone. So, hey, when are you going to have the famous Judson on, you know? That's a great question. We should do that. I haven't heard from Judson in a while. But yeah, we should have a chat with him. I've spoken with him over numerous emails, tickets, and what have you. And I think on the phone a couple times, but that's about it. Yeah, I would slam 4 of those right now. What? Oh, the coffees or the jalapenos? Senseless had the black pack of ramen yesterday. And yeah, said it was good. NDI bridge always seems to be HX and H.264 mode and low bandwidth. Via bridge, I get 1.5 megs, but remote desktop, I can see full screen studio monitor in high detail. Wow. In other words, remote desktop gives a higher quality than bridge. That doesn't surprise me because people are using bridge for like, uh-oh, I got a poor connection. And it's unstable. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Let's view this on YouTube. Sorry, everybody, if the quality just tanked. Yeah, it did just tank. Wowzers. Whoa. Why didn't anybody say my audio sounds like crap? There's like an echo going on. I know what it is. It's screen capture, I bet. Let's now have a listen. Sounded like I was in like a... Yep, it was screen capture. Audio sounds fine. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's just me then. Other words, the remote desktop gives better quality than bridge. That actually doesn't surprise me. My source is a P200. Well, he had kid number 8 recently. What? Judson did? He has 8 kids? Good golly, man. I mean, wow. There's no echo for us. Everything sounds fine. Audio's fine. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that. Wow, Judson. If you're watching, this one's for you. Good golly, man. That's a lot of kids. So yeah, we should definitely have him on. Just to discuss how his life's going right now. That's a lot of kiddos. But all the power to you. People are allowed to make their own decisions in life, you know? So, okay. So the ramen with the jalapeno was quite good. The La Colombe coffee mocha is very good. It tastes very good. It does have the mocha version is heavy on the chocolate, which is fine. I've also got the triple and the vanilla out in the fridge. I ordered like a variety pack, and I found that the cheapest place to buy it was just on the La Colombe website. So it's like $36 for a whole pack of 12 and free shipping if you just take this lowest shipping. Now, what I didn't appreciate was that they UPS left the box outside on the weekend, and we've been having like flood warnings all weekend. So I had to come here on Sunday or Saturday. I had to come here on Saturday and put the box inside so it wouldn't explode in the heat and get like rained on. So fail for UPS, which is odd because they're normally really good. But anyways, there it is. Hey, none of the encoding settings on Bridge do anything. They appear to be ignored and always in HX mode, even though set to no transcode. Okay, full disclosure, I haven't used Bridge, so I need to do that. Yeah. Hey, have you tried Pepsi Nitro? I have. And I have. That was good. I have tried that. And I think my overall synopsis is it tastes like flat Pepsi. It tastes like somebody shook up the can of Pepsi first and then waited 5 minutes and then handed it to you, and it's flat. Not a fan. Not a fan of Nitro Pepsi, which is a shame because I'll drink Pepsi over Coke any day. Just because, now let's not start anything here. Just because my dad raised me on Pepsi because he used to work for Pepsi. So everybody chill. It's just what I was raised on. I'm not about to I'm not about to start a war. I can't believe that can isn't empty. It is empty actually now. Yeah, I could have like drank 4 of those in this sitting. It was really good, just not enough as always. With coffee, it's never enough. And again, if you're new to the channel, I never have enough coffee. So yeah, all right, 5 minutes to go. It looks like Robbie had to sign off, which is no big deal because it's the end of his workday. So I totally expect him to sign off. But we got 5 minutes to go. So if you have any NDI questions or anything like that you'd like to cover, I'm happy to go over that. Here's a mystery. My primary monitor that I always use as my primary is not being recognized by my computer anymore. And I suspect that that's some sort of Windows update garbage. But anyways, or maybe the guy switched out an adapter and now this one's not working. And anyways, I don't know what is going on. I tried to troubleshoot it yesterday, but now I'm restricted to 2 screens. And it feels like I'm living in the dark ages, in like 2005. So, hey, there's Robbie. Robbie jumped back on. Anyways, so let's, hey, Robbie, I'm going to throw you on this stream real quick. I think I'm going to try at least. Oh, wait, it didn't actually load. So I'll wait for that to, oh, there he is. Hang on now. Hey, Robbie, so any questions come up while I basically fire hosed information at you about NDI 5.5? Anything that comes to mind as a new BirdDog employee that we should pay attention to? Hopefully he can hear me. Okay, he can't hear me yet. So we'll get back to Robbie in a second. Yeah, so that router though, can I just have a little appreciation here? I can't overstate this though. This thing is slick. It's really cool. And here's the cool thing that I discovered today, by the way. If you click on this, you can add additional sources and additional destinations and presets. And that's so cool. So like I'm talking a whole bunch. Like it can be a whole switchboard. And I'm talking a whole bunch of destinations. Like it can be, obviously it's going to be limited to the abilities of your computer, but seriously, boom. Isn't that so stinking awesome? So heck yes, you can have tons and tons and tons of destinations. I don't know why I would need more than 4, but I have 20 sources on my network, and so you could definitely see the need to have that many items. But like that, I'm guessing you're not using Wirecast anymore. So I'm not, but not because I don't like Wirecast. Okay. It's not because I don't like Wirecast. It's because I'm using StreamYard now as my primary streaming service. And so I love StreamYard. I came across StreamYard because I subscribe to some guys on YouTube that are like lawyers. They watch court cases, and in particular, it was the Rittenhouse case, and then it was the Johnny Depp case that they covered. And they were using StreamYard to bring in like 10 lawyers from all over the place. And today, we got to meet Robbie, who's a brand new employee. Like he's 9 days in. And I brought him in for a conversation, and we had a quick little chat. And then he was like, I'm going to hang out in the green room and watch what's going on and maybe learn some stuff. And so he spent the rest of his business day just hanging out with us and watching behind the scenes, but he was in on the stream. What I love is that StreamYard works on pretty much any browser and any mobile device. All you do is send a link to the people you want to invite. They click on the link, it opens it up on a web browser, and you add your microphone and your camera, and boom, you can use a cell phone. We've had Ian Foster, who's a SE guy from here in the US. He was at a show in Atlanta, and so he was on his cell phone, and just he walked us around the venue and showed us the booths and showed us who was there. Brought him into the show, super easy. Yeah, it was so stinking cool. And it was really easy to do that. And it's literally just a click of a button. You just add them to the stream. Same thing with sharing my desktop. It's a simple button. Click, boom, done. And then when I'm done sharing that, boom, done. I can change the orientation too. So my little picture's in the bottom left-hand corner, but I could move this to a different thing, a different design, which would allow multiple people. So if I had 4 or 5 people in here and we wanted to demonstrate something together or talk about something, I could have them here on the left-hand side of the screen and then share my screen. And then when I remove my screen, then it would return us to a standard chat, format. So my dream one day is to have multiple people hanging out with us and just stack them in here. And you can have up to 10 people. And it gets a little much in terms of conversations going on and whatever, but it's really versatile. So I paid for the first tier of StreamYard, and it is super easy to go with. Hey, Windows Update has been trashing monitors lately. I've had several clients with monitor issues over the past 2 weeks. I think that's what happened. Like I've got 2 HDMI ports on my computer, and it's just a little gaming nook, but I have those 2 HDMI ports plugged in. They work just fine. But when I use a USB-C to USB-C to HDMI, that one doesn't work. So I'm hoping it's just a cable, but I don't think it is, because when I plug it in, it does the little doo-doo-doo sound like something's been connected, but it never shows the third monitor, and it doesn't detect a third monitor, and whatever. So that's really annoying. So anyways, Bugseek. So I am using Wirecast. I use Wirecast, for example, to do training videos, which I'm currently in the middle of doing, like a whole heap of them for internal stuff. And so I'm using Wirecast to do screen record and that sort of thing. But for the show, now I'm using StreamYard, and I love it. It's great. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, little cooking show today. It is 12:01. And I haven't seen any other NDI questions, and so we'll kind of go through the wrap-up here. Of course, as always, folks, look, if you have questions about BirdDog, about NDI, join us here twice a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, 11 to 12 Eastern Time here in the U.S. We would love to chat with you and find out more about what it is that you're doing. And so join us at birddogjohn.tv and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Then however you have your YouTube notifications set up, they'll let you know that we are going live and that we're online. But twice a week, synchronize your watches and join us for a fun little chat. And if things go dry, then I will eat spicy food for your enjoyment and amusement while trying to demonstrate NDI features, which is always fun for me and you. So hang out with us on YouTube. There's also a Twitch channel. BirdDog John is the handle. And so if you'd prefer Twitch and not the ruined YouTube experience brought to you by Google, then feel free to join us on Twitch. And BirdDog John is my handle there. And you can find all of the past shows from the past month, I think, on that channel. YouTube does keep a DVR of all of our stuff. So all of the videos are there as well. However, if you are needing help between now and then, between now and Thursday at 11 a.m., feel free to hit us up at help@birddog.tv, And this will open you a ticket in our system. And the great news is I've got agents that are watching this. I'm in this help desk quite often. We're answering questions. The guys that I have watching these tickets are some of the best in the business. I don't think there's any other NDI company around that has the caliber of support and the level of support that our guys do. That is for free. Okay, so it's a free service. We promise to get back to you within a couple of days. And quite frankly, that promise is to cover ourselves over the weekend because we don't work on weekends. And so we'll get back to you in a couple of days, but my team is really good about getting, if you submit it today, we'll probably be in touch with you tomorrow unless something crazy has happened or someone's on vacation or something like that. Okay, so submit a ticket, help@birddog.tv. We can help you out there if you have questions about your gear. Now, I don't have a support number, okay, a phone number you can call. And if I did, you would be calling to make a ticket. And so the help desk is really the quickest and most efficient way for us to help you. We can send you Word documents that can show you step-by-step processes. The guy that handles most of the tickets is really good about being thorough, understanding the issue that you have, and then going kind of above and beyond to give you a bunch of options how to get it fixed. And at the very end of the day, especially if you're here in the US, we can always have it shipped to us and we'll fix it for you and send it back to you. So if you don't need it for like a week or two, we can get it in the mail, ship it to us. We'll fix it. We'll get it back to you up and running. So there are options out there to get you guys help. And we certainly want to be able to provide those. We do have a limited support team. We don't have kind of endless resources when it comes to that. And that can be challenging at times and frustrating for everyone involved. And so we get that. However, I still think my guys are the best. They are flat out the best in the industry. I handpick them myself and I train them myself. And seriously, some of the best guys in the business. And so feel free to reach out to us at help@birddog.tv. And if we can't help you, we'll get in touch with the engineers and we'll get them to help us so we can help you. We can enable the whole chain all the way up. So it's good stuff. The help desk, don't be afraid of it. Submit a ticket. You'll get invited to have an account with the help desk so you can look at all your tickets and history and see what status they're in, and you can update every ticket that you've ever opened, all that good stuff if you want to go that far. Especially if you're an integrator, it'd be great to have an account where you can submit tickets there. We can keep your information relevant, all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, check us out, help@birddog.tv, and we can certainly give you a hand there. Otherwise, if you don't have any questions in the next day and a half, come back at this time on Thursday and we'll hang out again. And I don't know what I'm going to eat on Thursday. I am definitely going to drink another one of these. That is 100% going to happen. So hopefully Jeremy will be able to join us and I'll be able to give him kudos for a great recommendation. I have a whole pack of them. And so giddy up. Coffee is my game. So I'm all about trying coffee. Oh, hey, that reminds me. There was a recommendation like a week or two ago about some like espresso mix that comes in like a little glass jar. I totally bought it. And so it's sitting at home. I just keep forgetting to bring it. So on Thursday, let's make espresso. That's what John needs. So we'll tear that up a little bit and see how that goes. So I'll try and remember to bring that. Otherwise, I might be drinking both. Oh boy, that caffeine's hitting the system. Maybe I'll drink both. Who knows? And can I also just, as a final thought here, this is like Jerry Springer, final thoughts. Red Bulls are scary. Like my body can handle caffeine and like keep it regulated and I don't go crazy. At least I don't think I do. The guys in the office say they don't really notice a huge difference when I'm all caffeinated. However, I went on a camping trip about a week ago and a week and a half ago. Good golly, man. All right. So I left for a camping trip Friday morning at 1:30 in the morning. And I drove through, basically was driving until like 3:30 in the afternoon. However, I didn't sleep the night that I left. So I was awake from 8:30 the day before, Thursday. And then I went to bed at 10:30 on Friday night. So I had been awake for 50 hours. Whoa. I was awake for 50 hours. I did nap in the car for 30 minutes, and it was the most painful nap I've ever had because apparently I don't sleep well in cars. was my own truck too, which was odd because I let my dad drive and I was sleeping, but yikes. Anyway, I drove to Port Huron, which is where I crossed the border. And before I crossed, I filled up with gas because gas is ridiculous in Canada. And so I filled up the tank and went inside and bought a large $5 Red Bull. Not this big. It's like, anyways, it's decent size. And I drank that thing. And I don't quite remember the 3.5-hour drive to pick up the first passenger I picked up in Kitchener-Waterloo. I was listening to podcasts, but I rolled up to Waterloo and was like, giddy up, let's go, and was not tired at all. And then I drove to Brampton, which is where my dad lives, picked him up, felt good, drove through Brampton up to Orillia, which is near Barrie, and said, okay, Dad, I think, I've been awake too long now. I should probably sit. And then I remained awake then for another hour and a half after that. And then I was like falling asleep. So then I slept for 30 minutes and woke up, and that was not a good idea. And then I was awake again until 10:30. Like, that was, no, I had the big Red Bull, which is like the equivalent of 2. Okay. It's like 210 calories, whatever, but yikes, man. There is some ungodly level of something in those drinks that it's the same reason why I was drinking those in Vegas after the show each day and staying up with the team and like talking quotations. Cause after a certain hour, it's not really quality time. It's more about just saying you did it. But I was drinking those up to like 5:30 in the morning and didn't feel phased. And so that drink is, if I need to drive through the night, that's the drink I drink. Anyways. All right. So with all that, I don't need Red Bulls. That's for sure. If I want to keep a regular schedule, I need to probably not drink those. But if I need to drive through the night, I know what my poison is. That's for sure. Okay. That's the story. And I am now done. So hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys on Thursday at 11 a.m. And I'm going to wrangle up some people to join us. Thank you. Special thanks to Robbie, by the way, for jumping on and doing a mock interview. I'm really excited to have him on the team. You guys don't know. Europe, watch out, Europe, man. This team that's formulating over there right now, yeah, it's gonna put BirdDog on a new level. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, more on that in the future. So we'll check in with you later. Take care of yourselves, guys. Cheerio.